We grow when we give.
We grow when we give.
We grow when we give.
Nosotros crecemos cuando damos.
We grow when we give.
与えるとき成長する。
We grow when we give.
Welcome to R.O.G, Return on Generosity, a podcast celebrating generosity at work. Not financial giving, giving valuable time, alternative perspectives, and genuine collaboration. Welcome to R.O.G, Generous Leadership Coaching Tip episode, focusing on the 5-degree principle. And our chapter this week is Rebounding from Mistakes, chapter 2. And each chapter begins with a quote from usually a well-known person or somebody who had something interesting to say about the topic. And this one comes from American actress and fitness buff, Jane Fonda. And she says, "If the career you have chosen has some unexpected inconvenience, console yourself by reflecting that no career is without them. No career is without those setbacks, mistakes, flaws, and ways to grow," right? So that's something that all of us have in common. The example that I write about in this chapter of the 5-degree principle, our lead character, Lauren, makes a really bad mistake of sending an email to the wrong person. And she's complaining about her thoughts about the company and sends it to the wrong person. And that causes her a lot of shame and regret. And that example is actually a very significantly toned down version of a mistake that I made in corporate America many, many years ago that still I cringe when I think about it. But I learned a lot from that mistake. And I think the important thing is to rebound from those mistakes elegantly and generously. Now, a generous leader will take ownership for the mistakes that are made, will correct them, and apologize when necessary. And that's the best way to handle it. Another quote for us to grasp onto with this topic is one from Eleanor Roosevelt. And she said, "Learn from the mistakes of others. You'll never live long enough to make them all yourself." That's a really great lesson. Like, we don't need to earn all of the lessons that we gain in our life experience and our professions. So what are some of the things that you could anticipate going badly, and how could you course correct or perhaps make a process improvement or a habit change to help you avoid hitting some of those roadblocks, obstacles, or just inconveniences, as Jane Fonda says? So think about something in the recent past that went really well. Maybe it was a high-stakes situation that you were in, that you were responsible for a deliverable or gathering a group of people or solving a problem, and it went really well. What were some of the things that you did intentionally that enabled you to achieve that success? And then the flip side of that is, what's an example of something that happened recently that didn't go well, that you would describe as a mistake or a major setback, or maybe an inconvenience, and what could have been done to avoid that? Sometimes it's unavoidable, but sometimes it's because we're just moving too fast. We're so quickly trying to respond to people and get things done and move things forward that we don't always consider who else needs to be involved, who would benefit from a heads up before this thing is announced, who can I collaborate with to make this deliverable or message more complete, effective, thoughtful, and generous. Those are some considerations for this week. So as we move into the week ahead, let's think about how we could take a breath, take a beat, and be thoughtful and proactive to avoid making some of those mistakes, some leaving people out or expressing ourselves in ways that are unfavorable and unflattering. And think about how can we teach others about the mistakes that we've made to help them avoid some of those setbacks. And then who could we benefit from as a silent mentor, somebody who we maybe don't get the opportunity to formally mentor with, but they communicate and behave in a way that it really resonates with us. It's inclusive, it's thoughtful, it's generous, and we want to model that behavior. So what are some of the things that that individual is doing that we could put into our own leadership practice?
So I hope that you enjoy rebounding from your mistakes this week. Please stay generous, everyone.
Thanks for listening to R.O.G, Return on Generosity podcast. Please help us grow by subscribing and reviewing us on your favorite podcast player. And for more information, visit bridgebetween.com. We grow when we give.
우리는 나누면서 성숙합니다.
We grow when we give.
On rayonne quand on donne.
We grow when we give.